Hey guys, what's up? Today what we're gonna be doing is my 2018 lifestyle favorites. So I said I wanted to start incorporating more lifestyle-based content on my channel. I thought this was a great way to kind of just show you guys all the stuff from 2018 that I may not have talked about with you guys. We're gonna be covering a lot of stuff. So forewarning, this is gonna be a pretty long video, but we're going over everything. So before we get into it, please make sure that you guys subscribe to my channel so you can stay updated whenever I upload new videos. And then also make sure that you guys come follow me on Instagram because I'm always on Instagram when I'm on my channel. Okay, so let's just get into it. I'm gonna start off with some vitamins and supplements that I was really loving this year, starting off with these Yerba Prima Daily Fiber Caps. This is a psyllium husk fiber that's in these little caps. So they're just little swallowable tiny fiber caps. Fiber is essential. It, you know, keeps you regular, keeps you pooping. And I noticed a lot when I was traveling, I was getting constipation and stuff. I know that's not the most glamorous thing to talk about, but it's real. And I would just start throwing these in plastic bags and bringing them with me whenever I travel. I take them on days when I feel like I didn't get enough fiber from foods. And it's really nice because it just keeps things moving. And I think it's an essential part of life. You have to poop. So psyllium husk fiber is really nice. Another thing is Viviscal. So I started taking Viviscal in 2017, I wanna say, because you guys remember I used to have super long hair. My hair is very thick, it's very heavy, and I used to wear it in ponytails a lot. And I started noticing that from the tension of my hair being so heavy, my hair started thinning out around here. It's not thinning out anymore. I've always had like these baby hairs, but like these baby hairs were like disappearing. And my hairline started changing and I was like, oh my gosh, I think I'm starting to go bald from wearing my hair in a ponytail all the time. So I started taking the Viviscal and I noticed that my hair started growing faster and it really got rid of any of the receding hair loss that I had from the tension from the ponytails. I used to take 2 pills a day, but now just to kind of like keep up with the hair health, I moved on to 1 pill a day. Another thing that I started taking is sometimes I just can't fall asleep and my mind gets really restless and I lay awake all night, and there's a lot of nights where I constantly feel like I've been awake for 6 hours. Like I feel like I've been in that like limbo of where you're not really sleeping, you're kind of half awake, you know? And I tried so many brands of melatonin, it's stupid. And then whenever I didn't want them, I was like, these don't work, boo, you know, get rid of them. But these ones have me out like a light. These, I don't know what it is, maybe it's the B6, but these are from the brand Hum. And I tried these because I noticed so many people on the podcast that I listen to are sponsored by Hum, and I was like, whatever, I'll buy them. So I bought them, and these are the best melatonin that I've tried. Within 20 minutes, I start feeling like drowsy and sleepy, but not like in a medicated state, like just naturally start feeling more tired. I stay asleep, and I keep these by my nightstand, and they really are just the best melatonin I've tried this year. Okay, so next, let's talk, I'm trying to get all like the foodish stuff out of the way. So the next thing was the Himalayan pink salt water. Now, I started adding just a pinch of pink Himalayan sea salt to my water with a little bit of fresh lemon. You're adding minerals into your water by adding the pink sea salt. So I just got this one from Trader Joe's. It's not like I'm noticing a noticeable difference or anything crazy, but I like that I'm adding something into my water. And you don't add a lot. You shouldn't like taste the salt. It's just a pinch, and you're not gonna overdo it on your sodium levels or anything like that. I also was really impressed by this protein drink. It's just I should show you guys the label. It's from the brand Only What You Need. I like the dark chocolate flavor. 20 grams of protein. They also have fiber in this, and it has a really low sugar content. It's only 4 grams of sugar per serving. I don't drink them every day. They're just a supplement for when I can't, you know, I don't have time to make food. They're not the cheapest one you can buy, but I like them the best because of the added fiber, the low sugar, there's no crap ingredients in it. It's my favorite that I tried, and I'll pay more for something that I think is healthier. So this was my favorite protein drink of the year, and that's my favorite flavor. I also like everyone else, fell in love with matcha this year. I really think matcha is the best pre-workout. I love espresso and I love matcha, but matcha gives me like a steady stream of energy. Espresso, I love the flavor of it, but I do sometimes get the jitters. So ceremonial grade matcha was my favorite and only pre-workout that I used this year. I just think that C4 stuff that a lot of people talk about, like, it looks like something that came out of the lab in Resident Evil. Like, I took that one time in my life and I vomited and like I couldn't stand it. So I would much rather have something natural filled with antioxidants like matcha. So I've really been liking the one from Matcha Bar, but I have matcha every single morning of my life and I love matcha. I bring it with me when I travel because I love matcha. So I also had 2 dairy milk alternative favorites. The first one was Oatly. I talked about it so much. I love Oatly. It is my favorite milk ever. I like it more than anything else. I love Oatly so much. I want like a shirt that says I love Oatly because it is my favorite. Whenever I travel, I use the Oatly Finder. It's major for me, so Oatly was amazing. And then my favorite dairy alternative creamer was Nut Pods. So I think this is the absolute best creamer. It's very creamy. It's unsweetened. They don't put sugar in these. And yeah, just the original flavor is really good, and so is the French vanilla, and so is the hazelnut. They're all actually really good. So Nut Pods was amazing. My favorite LaCroix flavor of the year that I was obsessed with, had to have it at all times, is the coconut flavor. I went through coconut LaCroix like a mad woman. I just couldn't get enough of it. So coconut LaCroix is definitely my favorite. A lot of people say it tastes like sunscreen, but I think it tastes like a pina colada. I'm drinking one right now. Yeah, I love that coconut flavor. It's so good. Jade rolling. Jade rolling was so big for me this year. I feel like it just really helps with swelling and bloating of the face and just relaxing the facial muscles. So I did an entire video on it, but my 2 favorites were definitely just my standard jade roller, and then I actually got this new one from Beauty Trio, and as you guys can see, it's much larger than a standard size jade roller. So I just like this one because it's larger, planes of the face, and it also gets colder. It's like that rose quartz stone, and it stays cold all the time. So jade rolling was a big thing for me this year. I also wanted to talk about sunscreen. Sunscreen is so important, and I feel like I go on and off with it. Like, I'll go a month without wearing sunscreen, which is so bad, but I'll forget sometimes. So I'm constantly like having this inner struggle reminding myself, you need to wear sunscreen, you need to wear sunscreen, don't forget to wear sunscreen. So there were 2 products that really made a big difference for me, especially on my face. So I really loved the Laura Mercier 30 SPF priming sunscreen. So I like this because it sinks into the skin really quick, and because it's made by Laura Mercier and has the intention of, you know, having makeup put on top of it, it doesn't disrupt whatever makeup you put on top of it. It's gorgeous, it's hydrating, just like a really lush, pillowy sunscreen that plays nicely with whatever you put on top of it, or if you wear it alone. There's never a white cast with this one, so that was my favorite. And then for touching up throughout the day, especially when you get oily in the hotter months, Supergoop actually came out with a powder one that I loved. I like the translucent shade, but I think my favorite is the tinted ones, just because sometimes the translucent one makes me look a little too matte and kind of chalky, which I don't like, but I used up all my tinted ones, so I'm on the translucent one now. But it comes like this, and you just push that down, and then the sunscreen, which is a powder, actually gets dispersed through the top of the brush, and you can just reapply sunscreen throughout the day, which is so nice, and it just makes reapplying sunscreen a no-brainer and a lot more convenient. So those were the 2 big game changers for sunscreen for me this year. If I don't put it on my body, I at least want to make sure that I have it on my face. It's the best defense against wrinkles. Natural deodorant was actually a big thing for me this year. I have not worn aluminum deodorant in a really long time. I'll use them occasionally, like if it's something, you know, major and I really feel like I don't want to be perspiring. But in general, I did not use them regularly all throughout 2018. I really made the switch to natural deodorants in 2017. But my favorite that I've tried thus far has been from the brand Oh Hi, which is Urban Outfitters brand. I just love that this one smells like rose. I think it's so fresh and feminine. Like it just smells so beautiful and relaxing. So I also wanted to share with you guys my favorite bra, because I feel like no matter what bust size you are, whether you have really big boobs or really small boobs, everybody's always complaining about how they can't find the perfect bra. And I have stuck with this bra brand since 2016. And I do try new brands on and off, but this is the one that I always go back to because it fits me so perfectly. So if you have a smaller bust like myself, I think you will love this. It is the Natori Feathers bra. So these are what they look like. They're very light. They have a slight padding to them, but it doesn't give you any extra zhuzh. So it doesn't make your breasts look any bigger, which is not what I'm looking for. I don't like the way I look in a push-up bra. I don't like the way I look in a bra that has too much padding. I really just want like a padded cup, but I don't want anything extra because I don't crave like a bigger bust or cleavage or anything like that. You're probably gonna Google it and you're gonna see the price tag and you're gonna be like, what? It is a very expensive piece of underwear, but it makes all the difference in my opinion because they never billow away from my boobs. They never gape. There's never tightness. The underwire never cuts into my chest, which is like right here. It never cuts in there. There's no pain with these bras. I've had these bras for a long time. You just have to hand wash them, let them air dry. But if you're a grown woman, like it's time to invest in a grown woman bra and like just get yourself a nice bra that you feel confident in and isn't, you know, making your boobs look any way but the way that you want in the bra. And the great thing is that the Natori Feathers bras do go on sale a lot. So you can get lucky and get them for like $28 or $30. So you don't have to go in and buy it at full price. I would say like definitely set up like an account like on Shopbop or something so that you can see when they do go on sale. So Natori Feathers for anyone who has small boobies and just wants like a good bra, Natori Feathers. Okay, another big thing for me this year was silk or satin pillowcases. Really helps with your skin and not causing any, you know, sleep wrinkles and things like that, and also your hair. It just doesn't make your hair wake up with that like matted down effect, especially if you're not washing it every single day. You know, like your hair can get a little bit like matted and tangled. Really helps with that. Now, they don't have to be pure silk because pure silk is really expensive. I think as long as you get something that's like in this satin, silky material family, you'll still get the same effect in my opinion. Now, the biggest thing is you wanna make sure that you get one that has a zipper. So I only buy them with zippers now. Like they all have this enclosed zipper so that you can zip the pillow in, because if you get the silk pillowcases that don't have a zipper, you will wake up in the morning and your pillowcase just won't be on the pillow. Like for months, I tortured myself with the silk pillowcases that didn't have a zipper, and I would always like wake up in the middle of the night, have to slam my pillow back into the pillowcase and stuff, and I was like, you know what, they probably make them with zippers on them. So yeah, get the ones with the zippers on them, and I think you'll notice a big difference in your hair and your skin when you wake up in the morning. In 2018, I just try to be more conscious of waste and things that aren't recyclable, and just try to be more environmentally conscious. I'm not perfect, like I still sometimes forget my reusable straws. I still sometimes have to buy plastic water bottles. I still use makeup wipes on occasion when I just am in a rush or like I don't have things at my, you know, ready to use. I will sometimes default, and like you just have to, like I'm not perfect, but I really tried to be better about recycling, buying reusable materials, and just being more aware of the waste that I was creating as a person. And one of the biggest things that I noticed from myself as a person was an excess of makeup wipes. I was purchasing packs and packs of makeup wipes monthly because I would use them when I was doing swatches, when I was traveling, like just makeup wipes, an absolute excess of makeup wipes. So what I did at the beginning of 2018 and really stuck with throughout the year was wash rags. So I invested in a ton of washcloths, just white cotton washcloths. I use these sometimes like 4 or 5 times a day, and I'm cutting down on makeup wipes. I still use makeup wipes, like there are still some situations where I have to use a wipe because I forgot a washcloth or like it's just there, but I really massively cut down on my makeup wipe use, and I just started using these white washcloths all the time, and I feel like it cleans my skin better than a makeup wipe. I use them to cleanse my body so I don't buy loofahs or anything anymore. Like just supplemented the washcloths in place of other disposable things that I was using for cleansing, and have noticed a huge difference just because I feel better. They're more eco-friendly. It's a lot more pleasant to use than a disposable wipe. So washcloths were a huge, huge, huge thing for me in 2018. So I also found my favorite reusable water bottles, which are from the brand Beaker. I have 2, so I have the little water glass sized one, and then I also have the bigger one, which is soaking because I put coffee in it, and it's not, the oat milk isn't coming out of it. It's kind of left a weird residue, so it's soaking right now. But these are actually glass bottles. I just think water tastes better, more crisp out of a glass bottle. I like it better than the plastic reusable water bottles or the aluminum ones. I like it. It's a nice, sleek design, and it's just, to be quite blunt, like it's just, I like the way it looks. Like it's aesthetically more pleasing to me. I just really like the size. It's nothing obnoxious, and I just feel like I like the experience of it more than using something that's like hot pink, or you know what I mean? Like I just like the minimal feel of these. They're glass bottles, and like I said, it's something that I'm being more conscious of. I'm not gonna lie to you and be like, oh, I never buy plastic water bottles anymore, because I do. Yeah, sometimes I forget them. But these have made a huge difference in me just remembering to bring them with me as much as possible. So Beaker was my favorite water bottle brand that I tried this year. So I have some sports bras that I really loved, and my favorite were from Outdoor Voices. Now the reason I really like the Outdoor Voices one is because, as you guys can see, they're really long, so I don't have to wear a top when I work out in these. Like I just wear this with my leggings and I'm covered. You see like a tiny band of skin where the legging and the bra gap, but I don't feel like I'm working out in a bra. I feel like I'm working out in a tank top, and it's just nice because I can get sweaty and not have to worry about it. So I love this style from Outdoor Voices. This one has a racer back and they have pads. I have several different colors of this style, and it's my favorite and the one I would recommend the most. And then I also really like this style, which has no padding, but I still don't feel like anybody really sees your boob when you're wearing this. But this one has a V back. I just like this one because I feel like I get a little bit more support for things like running and doing anything that's a lot of impact. And then this one is nice for lifting the weights and yoga, things of that nature. So Outdoor Voices crops, amazing. Really loved those. And my favorite workout leggings, the Lululemon Align. I tried Lululemon for the first time in 2018 because I feel like so many people just like love Lululemon, and I was like, well then I need to see what this is all about. And the Align legging is my favorite workout legging. I love running in them. I love doing anything in them because the material of the Align legging is very smooth and buttery. I don't think it's worth the splurge if you're not somebody who cares about your leggings, but I don't like the chafing. I don't like when my leggings feel wet or damp, and these, even when I get super sweaty, the Align leggings never feel damp or sweaty, and I just, yeah. So I wanted to tell you guys that I love the Lululemon Align. And another thing that I noticed a big difference, because so my right leg is longer than my left leg, so I randomly get hip pain, and I feel like because of that, like my thighs, I sometimes have a hard time controlling my thigh muscles. So I was trying to find ways to kind of isolate my thigh muscles and exercise those. So I got a magic circle, a Pilates magic circle, and you basically would put this in between your legs, and then your thighs would be where my hands are, and you can push your thighs, and it just really isolates your thighs. You can use it for your arms as well, and it's also really great for stretching out your muscles. So I'll lay on my back, hold it here with my two hands, and then in this side I'll put my foot, and I can like pull my legs over my head like this, and really stretch my legs out, just because I noticed that I have really weird leg issues because of one of my legs being longer. So it's just great for stretching stuff out and isolating leg muscles that you otherwise have a harder time if you have a longer leg. The last thing I wanted to talk about are new podcasts and Instagram accounts that I found this year that I really loved. So I've talked about other podcasts that I listened to before, but I found 3 new podcasts this year that I really loved. So I found Morning Toast, which is Girl with No Job, Claudia Oshry and her sister Jackie Oshry, and they just do a bunch of pop culture news. It's every morning, Monday through Friday, so I really like that I get a lot of content from them, and they do like the fast 5 stories you need to know, and it's not all pop culture. They do business, tech, just events, current events, so that's really nice, and it's generally about an hour long, so I like just being able to listen to it every single day. And Chicks in the Office, I love Chicks in the Office. Chicks in the Office is a Barstool podcast hosted by 2 girls, so it's Fran and Rhea, and they again are like a current event pop culture podcast, but I really like them. They generally have really good guests on the show as well, and again, it's just like a really nice podcast that isn't too overstimulating. Like, it's just something that's nice to listen to when you're not trying to listen to something that's too heavy. And then I also really liked the podcast Dirty John and Dr. Death. So those are a lot more heavy, and they're I think they're by Dateline, I want to say, so they're a little bit more intense, and you do have to be paying a little bit more attention when you're listening to those. But those were my 2 favorite like serial-esque podcasts that I found this year. And then I had 3 inspirational Instagram accounts that I really fell in love with. So you guys know my little sister has Down syndrome, so I'm always like peeping Down syndrome stuff on the interwebs, and I found 3 Instagram accounts that I really fell in love with. So the first one is Beyond the Waves. It's owned by a girl named Julia, and she has a twin brother, Michael, who has Down syndrome, and she basically just chronicles her life with Michael and is always advocating for people with Down syndrome, and just, you know, sharing her life with her twin brother who has Down syndrome, and it's so sweet. I'm getting teary. Okay. The next one is Amanda Booth, who's actually a model, and she has a son who has Down syndrome, and she is always advocating for Down syndrome in other outlets on like social media, fashion campaigns, film, things like that. I think she actually did a Free People campaign with her son, which I thought was really beautiful, and I love her as well because she's always advocating for equality with children with Down syndrome and treating them as equals and respecting them as well. Another one is, I don't know how to say her name, Lisa Eicher, I want to say. So she's a woman, and her husband actually adopted 2 children from Bulgaria, I believe, who have Down syndrome, and she chronicles their life and her children that she's had herself with her adopted children. So it's just this family, and they're really cute. Her one daughter does amazing artwork, and like legitimately amazing artwork. And so I think her name is Sevi, and then she also has a son, Archie, who also has Down syndrome. And so she just shows like the sibling interaction between her 2 children that have Down syndrome, and it's just a beautiful account, and I really liked those 3 accounts this year and was constantly following them and really inspired by all the things that they do and the advocacy for Down syndrome that they have. And they inspire me to want to be more vocal on my platforms in terms of Down syndrome advocacy as well. I let you guys meet my sister for the first time this year, and we got such a great response. So that's another thing I really want to work on in the coming year, is being more of an advocate for individuals with Down syndrome. I'm not sad, I just was really emotional about those things. But yeah, those were my 2018 lifestyle favorites. Like I said, guys, it was a long one. I'm definitely gonna be doing more installments in beauty, hair care, all that other stuff, but I wanted to share lifestyle favorites with you guys, and Wanted to see how you respond to this. If you guys want to see more lifestyle videos in the coming year, I would love to hear your suggestions for videos. Anyway, I will have all the products that I mentioned in today's video listed in the description box for you guys. Please subscribe if you didn't earlier, and please come follow me on Instagram if you didn't earlier as well. Yeah, I think that's everything. This was so much talking. I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching this one. Bye, guys. That LaCroix was making me have to burp, and I was trying so hard not to burp on camera.